6 seconds.
Yes, you did. How about that? That's pretty good. How about that?
Coach, what are you getting out of these unit leadership lessons that Coach Meyer has having you attend?
Yeah, it's phenomenal. You know, the experience here is unique in many, many ways. Having the good fortune to coach at a place like Ohio State, but what Coach is doing with us as staff and as men in this off season is remarkable, and I don't know that I can limit what I'm getting out of it to any singular thing, but it is a passion for being a man, leading, doing things right, communicating. I mean, relentless effort and 4 to 6 is all football stuff, but it goes so far beyond that. And being able to have that conversation with my kids every day has been a remarkable experience.
Let me ask a stupid question.
There are no stupid questions.
Urban seems very demanding.
Yeah.
And here he is having you, who's been a successful coach, attend class. Is he hard to work for?
Here's what I'm going to tell you. First of all, and I told my players this, we're all lifelong learners. I'm 52, and there's a whole lot of things that I still need to learn in this world. And I think the only things that change your life are the books you read and the people you meet. And Coach Meyer is providing us with both people and things to read that are impactful. You know, when you're standing there last week and the lone survivor is talking to our kids, and I thought Wags, when he talked to our guys about the fact he's a Notre Dame graduate and a lawyer with a law degree, and 9/11 hits and he signs up. And you know, the impact of that on me as a man who didn't sign up and didn't think about signing up, that's remarkable. So the people that he keeps bringing and the things that he keeps teaching us, I mean, I would think it would be incredibly arrogant to say, well, we don't have anything more to learn. I've got a whole lot to learn, and I'm excited about it every day.
Kerry, Duran said that when he evaluated himself last year, he said he was a very average cornerback. Mm-hmm. Is that the consensus for you in the coaching room, evaluating him as well? Or is he better than that, worse than average?
I think he was better than average last year. I think his improvement this year has been dramatic. I'm excited to see him play. He is a young man with incredible athletic ability. His combine-type numbers are going to match those of many of the great corners in the country today and those that have played here. And yet at the same time, there have been little glitches that have prevented him from achieving the success that those numbers would indicate. And really, that's my job. And so we've spent a lot of time this offseason exploring all of the techniques and different things that are going to hopefully help him improve, and I think he's got a real focus and dedication to that, and I'm really excited to watch him. And as we were talking about leadership, he's taken the leadership of the room, and that's been important too.
How does that change show up? He's going to be that #1 guy for you now with Bradley gone.
Yep.
How do you notice that he's changed or taking on that leadership?
Well, as you guys know, in our defense and our scheme, when you move over to that boundary corner, the responsibility changes and it increases. And so you've got to, you're taking on a different demeanor in everything that you do. And so your style of play has to change, your responsibilities change, and that carries over into the weight room and everything else, film study and those types of things. So to me, that's where his focus has been in this offseason, is preparing himself to play that position.
How's it been working with Coach Ash?
Awesome. Love Coach Ash. Again, I would like to think that I'm a lifelong learner, and the experiences that I've had and the exposure that I've had to different coaches and different strategies and different ways to approach the game is refreshing. And I think Chris and I are working really well together. A lot of communication, and so I think it's been a real blessing for me, and I hope he would say the same thing. But I'm enjoying working with him.
What's that different thing he brings, Kerry, that's different from you guys?
Well, I think that there's probably a lot of things that are different. First of all, the style of play we're playing is different. The fact that, when Coach Meyer, when Coach Withers left, one of the things that I talked Coach Meyer about right away was we need to start meeting together. We need to start spending more time together as a cohesive unit. And so Chris and I are able to do that and spend time together, and that's worked out really well. He's got good energy, he's got good passion. Everett was a good coach. It's just but we're playing a style of defense that is very appealing to me as a corners coach, and a lot of the stuff that I believe in, and so I'm very, very excited about that.
Are you guys playing field, boundary and field,
yes.
Still? Or because I think the defensive line's going more of a left-right situation.
Yes.
And Duran's moved to the
He's the boundary right now.
Oh, he's boundary? Yeah.
He's the boundary right now.
And what what tells you he's ready for that? Well, obviously he's got to be. He's your returning.
Well, he didn't have to be. I mean, you know, here's the reality. Somebody has to be, right? Somebody has to be. And there's going to be competition. We've got good young players. But when you have young players, they're unproven players. So they've got to get out and play every day, which is great. We've been challenged by really good receivers all spring long. We're going to have that again all fall camp. And then we're going to line up that first week, and they got to go play. And we'll find out. But we've got enough guys with talent that I think we can play more players and get them out there.
If tomorrow was a game, would Marmani be the other corner?
Yeah, but we're going to play more than two.
Yeah.
I want you to know that. We're going to play more than two. Garyon is right in the mix. Eli Apple has had a very good spring. You know, he's over some health issues that we really had gone undetected. And so I'm really excited about that. And I'm eager. And I'm going to tell you what, those two freshmen coming in are going to have a chance to play. We're going to play more than two corners, that's for sure.
Are you deeper than you were last year, do you think?
Not yet, but we will be and we'll have to be because the style of play dictates it. So those guys are going to have to play.
Can you give an update on the kicking? How's that going for you? Are you guys
Which specifically would you like to talk
punting
about?
and kicking? Are you where you want to be?
Kickers, the specialists?
Yeah, the kickers, yeah.
Oh, no, you're never where you want to be. I think our punter has a chance to be the best punter in the country. I think he's a very dynamic kid who can do a multitude of things with the football in his hands. He's still learning the game of American football and getting used to all of the other surroundings, but I do believe he has a chance to be a really, really good player. Kyle Clinton, to be honest with you, has had a phenomenal spring, and he's competing very well with our new high school senior / freshman, Sean Nurnberger. We're not where we want to be in the place kicking game right now, but they have powerful legs, and that's good news. You know, we've just got to get more work there, and I think they have a chance to be very good.
What does that mean, not where you want to be? Does that means they're being inconsistent, making kicks?
Yeah, we're missing too many kicks.
Yeah.
You know, snap, hold, kick, those are all new guys. You got a new holder, you got a new snapper, you got a new kicker. It takes time. And because of the rules, we're not allowed to work with them. You know, only like this is the 9th day where you're allowed to have a ball and go kick and do that kind of stuff. That's challenging. So we're a ways away. They've got some work to do.
One of the things that appealed to you guys, if I'm not mistaken, about Sean was just his ability to knock down kicks in pressure situations. I mean, how's he kind of acclimated so far this spring?
Sean?
Yeah.
Oh, I think the pressure buckles him every now and then. I think he's a high school senior, and I think our head coach stands right there, right next to him, and our guys are yelling and hollering. There's a lot of big bodies running at him, and I think at times it's overwhelming. I don't think it'll be a problem in the fall. That's why we're doing it like we're doing it right now. We're going to throw everything we can at him now so that after spring, he's more accustomed to it.
Is he going to be surrounded by a couple of thousand students on Saturday?
Let's hope so. Let's hope 5,000 students show up and they all get really close and yell really nasty things at him and see how he handles it.
You guys have used a safety usually as the nickel back. Might you use a corner sometimes as the nickel? You guys.
We've used a corner since I've been here. Tyvis Powell was a corner, and he played the nickel. Okay, now we used Von Bell at the end of the year last year, but we've used corners at the nickel. Armani played nickel today. You know, it just depends on the depth at the various positions and how we're going to do that. It's a good question.
As of last Thursday, I think your players said you were only working on base defense. Has it been 2 or 3 practices now that you've?
We started to incorporate a little bit of nickel. Yeah, okay. We started to do a little bit of nickel, but we're still a few players short in springtime to be able to play a lot of nickel right now.
Who are you rolling in nickel? Who's the
Armani
nickel?
played nickel,
Armani?
and Garyon plays the corner.
Yeah.
So that's the way we did it today. And there's some guys. Eli can play the nickel. You know, when Von Bell's healthy, if Von is safety, Cam Burrows can play nickel. So we've got some pieces there, and we've got some really good freshmen coming in that are going to have a chance to do it.
Here, is there such a thing as like having to get your guys' feelings back up, or I mean, after the way the year ended last year, y'all got thrown on quite a bit and stuff, and some guys got beat. You know,
well, if
Armani
let's be honest now. If you're a prideful person, you know they read the paper too. Yeah. You know, and if you're a prideful person, you're a man. There's 2 ways to handle that, right? You can turn tail and run. You can point finger at somebody else and blame them, or you can say, well, I'm going to resolve this situation. I think our kids are focused. I think they're energetic. I don't think they're down in the dumps. I think they're playing their butts off. You guys have been in practice, and I'm excited to coach them. And I think they got a chip on their shoulder, and I think they should. So,
you know, a lot of people were criticizing the fact that sometimes the corners weren't up on guys and stuff. You don't strike me as a non-aggressive guy.
Thanks, appreciate that.
But does it take confidence to play that way? You understand? I mean,
it takes
for players
practice to play that way. And football is made up of a myriad of different schemes. There's lots of different things, and it's not like you can just say, hey, go put those guys up on the line of scrimmage and go play. It's the scheme. It's how everything fits together. And not blaming that on anybody, but that was not what we were doing. We did it at times. We didn't make it our I don't know what the right word is. It wasn't our base concept. It was an adjustment. Now it is our base alignment, and we will adjust off of that. So in order to do that, you got to do it. So you notice every single snap of spring football, we have lined up in press coverage, and that's the way we're going to learn it. And then we'll find out how we stack up when the fall comes around.
Are you getting a little more with that the third linebackers and giving you a little more of a nickel look? We were in the base, it kind of seemed like that. More of a hybrid type linebacker guy.
Well, those two linebacker kids are very fast, athletic players. Chris Worley was a safety. Darren Lee was a high school quarterback / athlete. So that kid, that position has to be an athletic kid. And what remains to be seen is what all of their skill set will let them do. And, you know, I think everybody would tell you if you never have to substitute, you'd be happy. But, you know, with certain personnel groupings, you also feel like you're going to have to play some nickel and dime, and then you just got to run some guys out there. But those two kids are playing really well right now.
Sorry, Coach. Talk a bit more about Gary on. Sounds like he's having a good spring. You mentioned he was with the first team today. What's enabled him to kind of make a good jump this spring?
Well, he ran with the first team in nickel. I think Gary on is a long, athletic, explosive player. I think that his physical strength kept him off the field last year as much as anything, and the fact that, you know, he got here in June and it's a lot to learn for a brand new kid. And so he's playing every day. He's getting a ton of reps, and he's handling that very well. He's an intelligent football player. He can run really well, and because of his length, his arm length, he's a prototypical press corner. So we're excited to see him play. I think he will play a lot of ball this year.
Was it